Welcome, everybody. If we can go to the next slide. Oh, we're going to lead into our Aboriginal land acknowledgement, but I want to welcome everybody here first to the 2022 Sustainability Awards. My name is David St. George, and co-hosting with me today is the ever-talented, always popular, and not saying this because she's my boss, Rebecca Denard. Rebecca, if you want to say hello.
Hi, everybody. Look, it's so nice to see everyone, and looking forward to giving out some awards today.
Now, we have changed the format a bit, and we thank everyone for their patience. As a result of that recent flu going around, we had to change the format, but we'd much rather be safe than sorry, and we don't want to harm anybody in the process of giving you awards for all your amazing work. So we figured it'd be counterproductive. So we appreciate everyone's patience, but nonetheless, it doesn't take away from any of the fantastic work you've all done. And my opportunity to talk to all of you in the past couple of weeks has really shown that I got to pick up my slack. reThink Green is here to help, help environmentalism. You guys are good doing stuff that are blowing everyone out of the water, and you should be really proud about that. So it was absolutely one of the most motivating experiences to do that. But before we get into the nitty-gritty of the awards, I think it's very important that we do speak about where we are. We are digitally meeting on Aboriginal land that has been inhabited by the Indigenous peoples from the very beginning. As settlers, we are grateful for the opportunity to meet and are here to thank all generations of people who have taken care of the land for thousands of years. Long before today, as we gather here, there have been Aboriginal peoples who have been stewards of this place. In particular, from Sudbury is the Robinson Huron territory, and the land which is, as we gather, to the traditional territory, the Atitmishing Anishinaabe, and I believe some of our folks out in North Bay are on the land which is traditional territory, the Nipissing First Nation Anishinaabe territory covered by the Robinson Huron Treaty and Upper Canada treaties as well. So Atitmishing Treaty covers a lot of places spanning out up to North Shore as well. So we are on very, very traditional lands. And as we recognize and deeply appreciate their historic connection to this place, we also recognize the contributions of the Métis, Inuit, and other Indigenous peoples that have made, both in shaping and straightening this community in particular, and our province and our country as a whole. As settlers, this recognition and the contribution of historic importance of Indigenous peoples must also be clearly and overtly connected to our collective commitment to make the promise and challenge of truth and reconciliation real in our communities, and in particular to bring justice to murdered and missing Indigenous women and the girls across the country. As we speak about environmentalism and sustainability here in Northern Ontario, this is so humbling to recognize that we were not the first by any stretch, and we carry on a long tradition and are humbled by those who come before us. And I think these acknowledgements are so important in the field that we operate in, since we are sharing a very strong tradition, and we hope only to honor that in our time. And also, if you look at the bottom, to our folks out of Manitoulin, I'm sure you all recognize the folks on the Billings Trail. These pieces here were part of the Committee for Truth and Reconciliation from 2015. The Billings Trail answer to that. So speaking to the historical connection of Island to the place. So fantastic walk if you haven't had a chance to. All right, next slide. So if you're on this call, hopefully you know us. If you're just finding out about us now, kind of a weird time, but love that you're here. reThink Green is a not-for-profit hub driving environmental action through information and inspiration. Fortunately, like I said earlier, all the people on this call are doing that for us in spades, inspiring us with the outstanding work that you've done in your fields and blowing me away and everyone that I speak to about why we chose each of you for these awards. We bring together ideas, partners, and resources to help build sustainable communities in Northeastern Ontario and beyond, and that is amazing. Having worked with the peoples here in Greater Sudbury, surrounding area, and Manitoulin Island, North Shore, one thing connects us all, and that is the need to protect this beautiful land that we are so lucky to live on. Jan, who's in the call, is a new staff of ours, and she is moving up to Sudbury, up into Northern Ontario. And she said, I want to be somewhere where there's trees. And I said, good news. You're in luck. No matter where you go, you can't throw a stone without hitting some tree bark. And we are very lucky. And the people in Southern Ontario living in these big cities don't necessarily know the gift that we have up here. So, everyone here definitely fights to protect that. And to be part of that is so very important. And as we have done for such a very long time. All right, do you want to go to the next slide? And of course, in environmentalism, And sustainability is a passion, but it definitely needs the supporters of others who put their trust in us, whether it be through their time or their support. And currently, these are 3 sponsors who are supporting us. We want to thank them always publicly for their kind donations: GSU, Greater Sub Utilities, the TD Bank, and Baker Tilly. We've worked with these agencies before on many different levels, and sustainability is a spectrum. So sometimes you're at that point where you're doing really good, and maybe a financial contribution is the best way to support the further environmental sustainability. So these are the people who have done that, and we are eager to continue to work with them. And we thank them very much for their faith in us, and we put our faith in them and to lead the way in environmental sustainability and carbon reduction. That's it. Let's go again. Next slide. So what are the sustainability awards? Of course, they highlight environmental achievements of all levels of our community, from local businesses reducing their carbon output to individuals rising above and beyond and rallying others to the cause. And that is so true with the group that we have here today, from outstanding educators to brilliant leaders to innovative thinkers, doing things that I never thought possible in Northern Ontario, leading the way. Talking with all of you, you're leagues ahead of what most people are doing or thinking. So it's amazing how much you shine to the rest of the community. And this is the opportunity to highlight that and show that. From here, what we do is we don't just award you, we parade you around a bit. With the videos will be going to the media, they'll be going to all forms of social media as well. And we were playing them throughout the year to highlight your achievements, bring as much attention to the projects that you're working on, and hopefully get you a bit of support in the process. And definitely more than a few pats on the back, because you deserve it. So these awards do 2 things. 1, highlight how great you are and show your amazing achievements to everyone throughout the year. Next slide. But we do choose the award ceremony today because tomorrow, as you likely know, is Earth Day. And much in the same way that we celebrate the achievements of everyone here across Northeastern Ontario, you likely know that Earth Day celebrates the achievements of everyone across the world, proving that we can make a difference in unifying us into one unique cause. We celebrate Earth Day, obviously, and communities across Ontario, across Canada are making celebrations. This is our contribution into the pot that is the overall wellspring of movement. And, Earth Day is like Christmas. You got to keep it in your heart all year long. Ebenezer Scrooge would have been totally different if the whole thing was about Earth Day. I think it would have been just as good of a classic. But keep it in your heart all year long, and that's what we will do starting today for another 365 days. All right, so let's head on to the next slide. Oh, my stars. I think it is time I hand it over to the ever amazing, ever wonderful Rebecca Denard.
Hi, thanks, Dave. So I'm going to take over and start talking about some of the awards and winners we're celebrating today. Just so you know, we will be posting each of the individual videos on YouTube later so that you can share them, and we will be sharing them. This presentation will also be available if you want to send this whole shebang to somebody else. We're also sharing it with the media, so they may contact you for a story, they may or may not. And we're also going to be making arrangements to get your physical awards to you as soon as possible. And if you have them there, Dave, maybe you just want to show quickly. It's hard to see them, the grand beauty of them on screen, but here they are. We have a physical award that we were going to hand you in person today. But COVID being what it is, those will be delivered as soon as possible to your door. And hopefully we'll get a little photo with you, and then we can share that out as well. So this is how it's going to work today. I'm going to introduce each award and then talk a little bit about the award winner. We have a video that we've prepared. Our lovely Amanda has been working very hard to put together some videos to highlight all of your work. And then we're going to invite you to speak a little bit more about what you do, and then we'll move on to the next person. So that's how it's all going to work out. And Alex is going to be switching this videos on and off, so bear with the slowness of the internet today. It seems to be a challenging internet day, but here we go. So next slide, please. Our first award is the Sustainability in COVID Award. And this is awarded to the person or an organization who's really made an outstanding contribution to environmentalism, regardless of being in a global pandemic. It's been such a challenge for many of us to maintain our environmental standards during this time. And this is going to a person or organization who has done both of those challenges at once, remaining environmentally sustainable and really developing a sustainability project in the course of the pandemic. And we sincerely hope that this is the last year we'll be giving this award, because we would love to think that by this time next year, COVID will be a distant memory and we will be all moving along with our lives and giving awards for other things. So this year's award goes to ClickFork. During the pandemic, we really got a chance to think about what is essential. And I think we all realized that local, healthy food is essential, both for the consumers and to keep the local producers and the local food system operating. So ClickFork is owned by Chantal Lewitton. It's an online farmers market in which Northeastern Ontario farmers can sell their products, and Ontario citizens can order online, same as you would from a big box distributor, and they will deliver your lovely local produce and meat and supplies and whatnot straight to your door. So a really interesting way to get food to people in a pandemic situation. So let's switch over and watch the little video there. Alex, you can go ahead and do that.
So my name's Chantal Lewington, and I'm the owner of ClickFork. So ClickFork's been around it's going on our 5th season. So there was actually originally 4 different farms that came up with the idea and created it. So there was myself and my husband. We also own and operate Delu Farms in Lavigne. And then there was also 3 Forks Farms. They were in Warren, Ontario, and they relocated recently to Manitoulin Island. And then Kipling Ridge Farms in Verner and Field Good Farms out of Cache Bay. So the 4 of us came up with the concept. So now we own ClickFork as part of our business. And this allowed the other farmers to continue to focus on their own farming. Now we're at almost, well, I'd say we're over 30 vendors who bring products to us. So we have a warehouse here now. So we store a lot of frozen and dry goods ready to send out for delivery. During COVID, we added a home delivery option to make it more convenient and to make people feel safer. For those who were higher risk, they had the option of getting a home delivery, so they didn't have to go out to come pick up their order. Our sales went up quite a bit during this period and allowed us to expand. So we actually, well, I'm sitting in our licensed kitchen right now. We were able to add a licensed kitchen in order to preserve and freeze the customer base of loyal customers who we couldn't ask for better. Like, they go out of their way to help us and give us compliments and make us feel proud about what we're doing. So yes, there was a little surge during COVID, but again, I don't like giving COVID any credit.
Great. So cool. Now, Chantal, if you'd like to say a few words.
Well, I'd like to thank everyone who nominated us for this award. I'm not sure who they are yet, but hopefully I get to find out. It's always interesting watching yourself on a video. But thanks again, and couldn't have done it without the help of our team and all the farms and vendors that are involved. So thank you very much.
Great, thanks. So we'll move on to the next award. We can switch the slide. There we go. So this is the next award is for the member of the year, and this is for a Green Economy North member who has advanced environmental sustainability in their business. So all of our leaders in the Green Economy North program are accelerating Ontario's transition to a vibrant and inclusive net zero future by setting and achieving sustainability goals. And together we're demonstrating that a more sustainable economy is possible here in our community. So the winner of this award this year is Split Rail Brewing. They are a longtime member of reThink Green's Green Economy North program. And they've really taken a lot of action to reduce their environmental impact of their business. One of their most interesting projects was switching from bottles to cans in terms of how they package their beer. It was quite a research project, trying to figure out which was going to be the more sustainable. But it really came down to the transportation. Was going to be the biggest impact in their supply chain. So shipping cans is a lot more effective than shipping bottles. So that was why that decision was made. And they actually were able to purchase a canner so that they don't have to have their canning equipment come up driving up from Southern Ontario every time they have to can beer. So they have it locally now, and they've managed to reduce their emissions significantly because of that. They're also really interested in the circular economy, in that they use their spent grain goes to local farms for either feed or for fertilizer. So using the waste product from one business to be the source for another business is a pretty cool way to operate. So let's watch their little video.
We have a lot of spent grain, of course, in the brewing process. So there isn't any of it that goes into the landfill. It all goes to local farmers and becomes part of their feed for their livestock. We were profiled in a brewing industry magazine, and they chose that as their cover picture. Us at the farm with the grain and the cows. You know, being able to reuse it is really a point of pride for us. We're chipping away at B Corp certification, so trying to approach social issues as well as environmental issues. We're also exploring more energy efficient ways of adapting our brewing processes. So we managed to purchase our own canning line. What happened prior to having our own canning line is that we would have to hire someone to come from Southern Ontario to help us can our beer. So you can imagine that I used quite a bit of fossil fuels just to get that equipment up to us. My advice would be make friends, you know, whether it's, you know, Green Economy North or it's funders, and scanning the environment constantly for grants and funding. We're really looking at partnerships, and our partnership with Green Economy North is very important to us because that allows us to have access to a certain amount of expertise and keep the momentum going.
Very cool. All right, Barb, would you like to say a few words?
I think I've said enough already. Thank you very much. Boy, I hadn't seen that one before, actually. So anyways, thank you. It is such a pleasure to be a member of the Green Economy North, and we're looking forward to it. Yes, we've made some progress, but we need to make a lot more. And I think certainly reThink Green and Green Economy North have been a source of moral support as well as expertise, and we look forward to continuing to work with you. Thank you very much.
Well, likewise, it's such a pleasure to have such an enthusiastic member, just always looking for the next project and looking for the next way to make a difference. So yeah, we're excited about that too. And the B Corp thing too, that's a really exciting process. Hopefully we can get into that if anybody else is interested. Yeah, it's a really interesting certification that you can get. Anyway, next we'd like to move on to the Educator of the Year. So this is awarded to an individual who has made a significant contribution to environmental education. And education is so important because it's really how we communicate about environmental challenges and share the solutions that we've come up with. And educators have an enormous impact, particularly on how young people view challenges such as climate change. And it can be such a delicate balance between emphasizing the scale of the problem, as well as still inspiring others to be able to take action and feel like that they can make a contribution. So this year, the Educator of the Year is Olathe McIntyre. And she is a well-known staff scientist at Science North and has developed many different climate action workshops that have been delivered both virtually and in person to Canadians who come to the center and to school children and to just the general public. Anybody who's involved with Science North has probably seen some of Olathe's work. One of the new programs that's just launched there is Science North's new Climate Action Object Theater, which is a unique multimedia installation that combines media technologies, real objects, theatrical effects, and it's all in a custom environment. And it's really a memorable, educational, and entertaining experience. So if you haven't had a chance to go check that out at Science North, I think it's open now, and it's really. I haven't had a chance to go yet, but COVID permitting, maybe we'll get a chance to go and see that exhibit. There's also a larger climate change exhibit and one that will also be touring to small communities. So it's really exciting to see Science North and Olathe taking such a leadership role in getting the word about climate change out to having that information come to people and not just having it sort of stay in one spot. So let's have a look at the video.
It's interesting teaching about climate change because you're always walking that line between kind of scaring people and then just helping them really understand on a deeper, on a scientific level, what's happening. Most of the opportunities I've had here at Science North for climate education have come through school programs, and they start building the foundation of a scientific understanding of climate. We've been educating about climate change for about 20 years here at Science North. And I had the opportunity to do a third iteration of this theater experience where we really went from, this is the science of the problem to this is what you can do about it. People come in and they're put into a training and they have tablets that they can interact with. They get an agent code name, and then afterwards they can sign into a change agent network and take the hope and energy that we build in the show and actually go out and connect with other people who are taking action in their community. Another project we're working on that I was able to be part of the early visioning stages on is a traveling exhibition. Climate Quest is a traveling exhibition. It's going to be a large exhibition and a small exhibition. So the large one is going to travel across Canada to all the major cities, and then the smaller one goes out to smaller communities. And that focuses on small steps leading to a big change. And really just creating that sense of not being alone, of being part of a really big movement. Another opportunity that I've had here at Science North is being able to work with Indigenous members of our community. And the government has recognized that a big part of climate action is seeking out and accepting Indigenous leadership. And so building a relationship with this land, being able to live here in this area, in Swakamak, is really wonderful. And I'm really enjoying getting to know this land and all of the members of this community. If I had to give one piece of advice to somebody who wants to learn more about living sustainably, the most important thing is to be forgiving of yourself. We're all in this together. It's not easy. None of us are perfect. And part of that is finding people who are supportive of you. You're not going to be able to do it alone. So find the people around you who want to be sustainable too.
That's great. That's wonderful. Olathe, can you want to say a few words?
Yes, hello, bonjour, Annie. When I received David's very charming phone message telling me that I had received this award, I just had this huge, warm kind of wave of joy fill me. And then, of course, I started telling myself, well, it's not really a big deal, but it is. I've never received an honor like this before in my life, and it filled my bucket. I think that these celebrations of our achievements are something we all really need to keep us hoping and working for a future. So I'm grateful that Science North has given me the opportunity to educate so many people of all ages in really hands-on and fun ways about science as it relates to sustainability in our everyday lives. And I'm thrilled that we are walking our talk and working with Green Economy North to become a truly sustainable organization. Yeah, and thank you to everyone at reThink Green for the work you're doing for the well-being of the citizens of Greater Sudbury and really for the future of everyone on Earth. So thank you. Merci, miigwech.
Oh, thank you so much. That's that warms our heart too, to be to see that we're all working on this together. And it is it's so inspirational to find yourself part of such a exciting team. And it certainly is what inspires me every day. So really, really happy to be here with all of you. Next, shall we go to the next slide? So speaking of inspiring people, environmental champions are so important because it's ultimately individuals that are going to make a difference for the environment. We all think about large organizations taking action, and they do, but those large organizations, it's always a person at that organization who has made a choice and decided to do things differently. So sometimes it just takes one person to lead the way, to come up with a better way of doing things, and someone who doesn't accept the status quo and is always pushing the envelope towards greater sustainability. And that couldn't be more true of our winner today, who is Craig Timmermans, who operates the Country 103 and Hits 100 radio station on Manitoulin Island. It is the first off-grid radio station in the world, in Ontario. Sorry, I'm not sure on the geography of, but certainly one of such an innovative idea to be able to do a whole radio station off-grid. And he's always coming up with new projects. He's looking to do some electrical vehicle charging on Manitoulin because it's such a tourist destination, and it's important to have that facilities there. We also are excited for potentially an eco brew fest. It's sort of our dream project for the rest of us. We'll get split rail to come, and you're all invited. I guess I've said it now in public, so we have to do it. But yeah,
happening now.
Yes, so just always looking for the next project to advance sustainability, either within his own business, his own community, and just always cooking up some new innovative project. So Craig, let's play your video.
We have two radio stations, CFRM, which is a hit station, and we have Country 103, which is a country station, obviously. Both one's operating at 27,500 watts, and the other one's operating at 50,000 watts. They are both being broadcast from our studios at One Radio Road in Little Current, which is our new 25 or 2,600 square foot office space. And the office space is 100% off grid. So what we did was we used SIP panels, and SIP panels are structured insulated panels. They're sealed, so you've got an incredible R value with it. They go together, basically the building goes together like Lego blocks, and you can heat it with a candle. So just an extremely efficient building. In 2009, we decided to become the first green radio station in Canada, and we put in a wind turbine that was funded in part by NOHFC, and so that drastically offset our energy costs. So we put in 4 turbines, so we added another additional 3 turbines, plus we put in 2 large arrays of solar panels. So we run all our servers, all our internet, all the office computers, central air conditioning, the heating system, electric hot water tanks, all of that stuff that you would normally have in a regular office, and that's all 100% off grid. Not only that, but we've done some upgrades on our system, and now we have so much excess energy that's just being stored in batteries and not really being utilized that we've decided to put in an EV charging station. Our plans going forward is we want to take our tower site, which burns vast amounts of energy, 100% off grid.
Sorry about that. Yes, Craig, there you go. There's the award. Would you like to say a few words?
Sure. Ani, thank you and welcome to beautiful Manitoulin Island. And it's an honor to be a member of Green Economy North, reThink Green. Bottom of my heart, thank you so very much for nominating us. And thank you to my wife that put up with all my crazy ideas.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you. We ready to move? Shall we go to the next one? Yes. So this is a very, very special award this year. It's the Ericcollagios Memorial Award in Food Sustainability. And Erica was a really special person in the community. She was on our staff for just a short while. And unfortunately, she passed away in 2021. So we're incredibly sad for that, but we hope to be able to honor her in this award and to try and support and reward some of the wonderful things that Erica cared about and be able to offer that award for other people. So here are some pictures of Erica. She was enthusiastic about food, local food. I remember her as the team leader at Eat Local when we were upstairs in the reThink Green office. She was the store manager downstairs. She was also never afraid to get her hands dirty and into the garden. So here she is working away with some kids, actually working on the farm and growing some food. She was also, next slide, she was also a passionate advocate and a great speaker about food security and food sustainability. She cared about it deeply, and every time she had a chance, she would use her voice to really support that cause and explain why it was such an important issue for her and for our community. I'd like now to turn it over to Stephen Fleming, who is Erica's partner in life, and to talk a bit more about Erica and the award, the very special award that we have created for her. Oh, back. There you go. Sorry.
All right, we're ready to go.
Yes.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. I'm Stephen Fleming. I'm Ericcollagios' partner. I'd first like to thank David St. George for asking me to present the Ericcollagios Memorial Award in Food Sustainability. Erica became more aware of the concept of food security during her time working with Eat Local and reThink Green when she worked as the Food Strategy Outreach Coordinator. She worked on connecting individuals and organizations involved in the food system and developing partnerships to improve food security and sovereignty in Greater Sudbury. Food security was important to Erica because it was something she believed in. She believed that everyone was entitled to good, healthy food, regardless of their financial situation, especially in a time when food prices are rising and lower income families struggle to afford it. She also worked at Better Beginnings, Better Futures, working with the Good Food Box. Now, this group helps individuals and families access affordable fresh fruits and vegetables year round. And she told me that doing this and working in the field was something that she felt she was meant to do. Which brings me to Erica's legacy. We all hope to leave something behind that people will remember us for, something important. The impact that she made in the food security situation in this community will be felt for a long time. Erica worked to effect change in that community, and personal gardens can now donate food directly to the food bank. Not just anybody gets to be remembered in the way that Erica has, and this is a fitting monument for both a force for nature and sustainable food, as well as a force of nature like Erica herself. For Kaylee, our daughter here, this award will become a permanent reminder of Mommy and the importance of her work and the impact that she had in our community. Perhaps this will inspire Kaylee to be interested in this noble work and continue the effort to improve the food situation as her mommy did. For me, the award means that although she is physically gone now, Erica still challenges us to take up the torch in our own communities and work together to help make food security for all a reality. I'm extremely proud of her work and all that the award represents. And hopefully many years down the road from now, people will look back and also be proud of how far food security and sovereignty will have come. Now, the Ericcollagios Memorial Award here that I have was created by Tyler Favell, a good friend of ours who immediately volunteered to sculpt the award when reThink Green was conceptualizing it. He knew of Erica's love of birds and how she identified herself as a bird nerd. He used the Whiskey Jack, also known as a gray jay, which was Erica's favorite bird, as part of the main part of the sculpture. It symbolizes Erica. The nuts and berries that you see here on the bottom and the base represent the new renewable and sustainable food sources. The growing rose right here represents our daughter Kaylee Rose. And on the backside, a Scottish thistle representing me. Basically, then our whole family is represented in this award. And I'm so grateful for Tyler's thoughtfulness. And now the moment we've all been waiting for, the Ericcollagios Memorial Award in Food Sustainability is awarded to the Flour Mill Urban Community Farm. And I'd just like to say congratulations. And I know Erica knew some of the people involved with the farm, and I know that she'd be over the moon that you've won the award. So congratulations.
Thank you so much, Stephen. It's so impactful to hear you speak about Erica and her work, and just reminds us how much she brought and how much we've lost for her. Yeah, sorry, it's hard. Yeah, now let's play the video about the farm.
The Flour Mill Community Farm started as a concept and idea in 2016. We're the Sudbury's first urban farm, which employs youth to grow food. We're growing food literally in the backyard of so many people who live in the Ryan Heights and Cambrian Heights areas. And there's so many families and kids and awesome neighbors who can access this food. So we do have a market stand every week, and we just price things to be really affordable. And we often have neighborhood children come by and work with us. And so of course we'll give them carrots and beans, peas and stuff when they come lend a hand. Erica was a huge part of the local food system here, and also very much believed in social justice and food sovereignty. Erica was involved with the farm since our first year. Erica, really pushed, especially in 2020, to allow community food to be donated to the food banks, and we finally were able to do that because we're growing all of this beautiful food and we couldn't donate it to the food banks. And Erica came out to a number of our events and volunteer days too, so this is close to our heart. In 2022, we are trying to really make the the community farm parts stick out. So we are partnering with the Ryan Heights Neighborhood Association and their community garden to just strengthen that relationship overall and really have the community like embrace it in that way. Just have a lot more people coming out to events and hands-on stuff. We're also going to be doing some like vermicomposting workshops, and we are hopefully going to be able to install like a self-watering bed, self-wicking bed, and we're also going to be trying to create a lot more pollinator habitat with native wildflower species this year too. We always need volunteers. Our youth workers only have a 7-week contract that starts in July and then ends, you know, at the end of August. But there's so much prep to do prior to that. You know, we do site prep in May, we plant out in June, we harvest well into October, we plant garlic in October. So there's so much room to have the community come and lend a hand.
Beautiful. So fun to see all that work still happening here, and I'm sure that the Flour Mill Community Farm will continue to thrive for many years and be a part of Erica's legacy going forward. So anybody who wants to volunteer, I'm sure that some of the Chantal, you probably are quite busy enough on your own farm, but for the rest of us, it's a good spot to go lend a hand. Let's go to the next.
Oh, before we go, Rebecca, do we want to give
Yes.
Fiona a chance to
Oh, of
say
course.
a few
Yes.
things?
Yes. Fiona, please. Sorry.
Unless you wanted to slip through, Fiona, then I'm sorry I stole that from you.
I know. Thank you so much. It's really beautiful thing coming together. And Erica, Steve, you said everything that I was going to say. I think about Erica and about all of her work and what we're trying to achieve at the Flour Mill Farm. It's very aligned with Erica's vision and everything she was working towards, and feel so grateful that we had her involved and still have her involved, I think, in the farm. So yeah, I just want to thank everybody who helped us with our fundraising campaign. We are able to do another year and hopefully many more after that because of sponsorships. So yeah, thank you so much to everybody, and come out. We have events May 21st and June 12th. So get in touch.
Excellent. We'd be happy to share those out to more people once get some details. That's so excellent. Just such a great project. And yes, so that concludes our awards for the day. Thank you so much to everybody who came out, and thank you to our award winners. We will be sharing this recording online on our YouTube channel, as well as the individual videos, so that you can have a chance that we'll share them through our networks. Hopefully you'll be able to share them through your networks, and they'll all get out there for Earth Day tomorrow. And this is our really celebration of Earth Day and the great work that is being done in this community for the environment and environmental causes. We have our upcoming events. We have our Earth Festival, which used to be on Earth Day, but we decided we got sick of it snowing on our festival day, so we moved it to June. But we will be having a live and interactive streams, Earth Fest Connected. It will be a hybrid event, so there'll be some opportunity to participate in person as well as virtually. That's coming up on June 4th. We're going to be starting our work on that as soon as we're done this one. And we also have another cohort of Green Economy North starting up July 4th. So if there's any businesses out there that you know of or that you're part of that would be interested in joining up, our second cohort will be underway soon. So that concludes our ceremony today, and thank you again to everybody for coming, and congratulations to our amazing winners, and we look forward to talking to you all soon. Thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. You're all amazing. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great day.